Harry.
Hello, Marty. Thank you for joining me on my Hello Harry show today. You've been part of the Hawthorn Triathlon Club. So how long have you been part of that club for? And what kind of got you into starting off with triathlons in the first place?
Well, I started triathlon in 2015. So I stumbled upon the Hawthorn Tri Club beginner triathlon course and I thought, that's always been something I'd love to try. And so I did that thinking, oh yeah, I'll just do this once, like bit of a bucket list tick. And then 5 years later, I'm still doing triathlon.
So what was your first ever triathlon you've ever achieved or done? I know personally it's a hard experience and you feel so nervous. You're like, I don't want to do this. So tell me about your first triathlon.
So my first triathlon was at the end of that 6-week course, and I did the mini distance try at Sandringham. And I hadn't I'd done maybe 1 or 2 practices in open water, but open water swimming, terrifying. I think it was like a 200-meter swim. And even just getting out of that felt like a huge achievement. Like I was so nervous. But yeah, it's amazing how quickly you can progress because since then I've done some half Ironmans and, a few bigger events. So yeah, it's amazing how quickly you can progress.
What's your pre-race or pre-snack that you, I guess, have maybe during your race, your half Ironman, or before your triathlon? Like, what's your go-to food to kind of give you the energy?
Yeah, so my go-to is crumpets. So I always love having crumpets for breakfast on the morning of a race with peanut butter and jam. So that's my pre-event meal, and also in the half Ironmans, that's also my mid-ride snack as well, just wrapped up in foil. So if you're onto a good thing, stick with it.
What type of protein does it provide you, and what type of, I guess, energy does it really give you?
Positive vibes. I think it's good. Crumpets are obviously a really good source of carbohydrates. You've got a little bit of fat and protein from the peanut butter, but essentially just something that's going to be a quick release and a really good taste before or during an event.
If you were going to, I guess, run an interview or be interviewed, what would your ideal topic be?
I do love talking about triathlon, but I would definitely say something triathlon related. I really love traveling and doing events like interstate or overseas. So if we were talking about what's the next event and what's the next trip, the little planning, I would say that would be one of my favourite topics.
Like lots of people, I guess, when they're competing, get so sick of talking about the sport they're actually competing in. How do you find the extra energy to talk about it so much?
Talk about it. It's funny, I think I spend more time thinking about and planning sort of a trip around an actual event rather than like the details of the event itself or my training or my pace or my time or anything like that. I think, for me, triathlon is such a lifestyle, and, I've got so many friends that I've made through the sport that, I just really enjoy, I guess how it enhances my life like that.
What has made you the person you are to this day?
I don't know. I think it's probably hard to put my finger on one person or one thing. I think I do have a twin sister, so that's always made me someone who looks out for other people or looks out for people who are close to me. I went to a school where I was encouraged to do all kinds of things and to try new things, so that's probably a big part. And then studying engineering at uni, that was something that really challenged me, but it also helped me to see that I could be capable of anything I put my mind to. So,
what is your favourite activity outside of sport?
I really love cooking and baking. So, definitely have expanded my repertoire a little bit through COVID, but my fallback or my go-to dish is always a caramel fly.
Such a great tasting snack.
Oh, totally. I think, it's very addictive.
What is one of your guilty pleasured foods that you go, I'm going to have this once and that's going to be it. I don't care if I have it next year or the year after. I want to have it now and then not have it again.
Oh, I don't know if it would be something I couldn't have again, but I would definitely say my guilty pleasure food is cheesecake or caramel
Ooh.
slice. But yeah, if I could eat cheesecake forever, I'd be a very happy person.
Okay, what type of cheesecake would it be? Because there's many different
A, a
cheesecakes.
baked cheesecake.
What type of advice would you have for someone that wants to be like you, like someone that wants to go and compete in triathlons at a high level, or I guess do a triathlon for the first time?
I would say first and foremost, don't be afraid to try new things. I think, most people come into triathlon perhaps having a particular strength. It might be running or cycling or swimming. So naturally there are going to be disciplines that you aren't confident in or that you're new to. So it's not being afraid of that, and not being afraid to be a beginner at those things too, because I think there's a lot of power in being a beginner and learning something for the first time. And I think just, surrounding yourself with the right people as well. So whether that be, the friends you make through the sport, whether it be joining a club or something, there's so much power in having people who are around you who, not only support you in your goals, but also, have that common interest and have that common enthusiasm towards the sport too.
What is probably the worst movie you've seen at the cinemas or you've ever seen in your lifetime?
That's a tough question. I actually don't watch a lot of movies or go to the movies a lot. I think triathlon seems to take up a bit of my spare time. But at the moment, I am actually rewatching the Harry Potter series at the moment. So I think just watch the 5th one, and when Sirius Black dies is pretty sad. So that's currently rating as the worst.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
Just from the disappointment. Yeah.
Absolutely, because I can remember when I was little watching that movie and seeing Sirius Black die, I was like, this movie sucks. The best character is dead. Why is the movie still going on? So
absolutely. It's just like, it's really sad.
It is very sad. Who kind of inspired you growing up? Like who was, I guess, an inspiration to you growing up? Like it could have been a coach, could have been a parent, it could have been anyone. So like who inspired you, Marty?
Who inspired me? Well, I didn't get into triathlon specifically, until I was in my 20s, but I think growing up generally, I think having my sister Sarah alongside me certainly inspired me. Having someone who's the same age, the same height, and the same ability at things as you, and doing life next to you. I think it's really hard not to feel inspired and sort of pushed on in various pursuits.
It's excellent. Probably tell me all wrong. Is there any rivalry of you and your sister? Because with me and my brother, there's lots of rivalry with competing. Do you have a bit of that when you're competing?
I know she's going to watch this. I think we do, but I don't think we ever set out to beat each other. But I think that bit of healthy competition, I think it does bring out the best in us sometimes, but I also think sometimes it brings out the worst in us.
Yeah, same here. I can absolutely relate to that. Is there anything that you haven't done yet in your lifetime so far?
That I'd like to. Well, I think at this stage, all of us would like to travel, even if it is just beyond 5K of our house. But I haven't run a marathon or done an Ironman before. So I think those would be somewhere in my future to try. But yeah, probably not anytime soon.
On a marathon, what marathon are you thinking of doing, and what's your target goal for doing an Ironman? Like there's so many out there, like which one would you be planning to kind of
do? I haven't even thought that far, but I have joked to friends that my goal would be to do an Ironman when I'm like 62, and then what I would do is I'd be the only person in my category, and then automatically qualify for Kona, do Kona at like age 63, and then retire and finish with the sport there.
Moving on to another one. What is the worst costume you've ever worn at a party or at a special event?
The worst costume? Well, I was thinking about this earlier, and I remember in our kindergarten, we did a nativity play, and I was the star. in the nativity. So I literally wore like, I think it was a blue sack or something, and held a cardboard star for the whole performance and didn't say anything. So I think I lucked out on that one.
That's such a good one. What are your goals for the future, Marty? Like, what are some short-term goals, some long-term goals, or some goals that are, I guess, on the horizon?
Some goals. Well, at this stage, I think like a lot of people, I would just love to be able to travel somewhere sunny, and to be able to do a triathlon with my friends. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that one at the moment, especially in Melbourne. And I think longer term, I'm really, I'm really enjoying being involved in the Trivic Women in Triathlon group. I'm also, I think I'd really love to be involved a little more in the sport, maybe on the board one day, be involved in some decision making at a higher level. So I think, applying some of my professional skills, I just really love, being involved in things that I'm passionate about.
Excellent, Marty. Thank you. That's all we've got time for. But thank you so much for your time, Marty.